be working hard to pull the entire United States into war in Iran. What Donald Trump has done is unconstitutional.
Has to be the dumbest shit I've ever heard come out of Jasmine Crockett's mouth, and I didn't think that was possible. But she said in a video that the Congress would be back on Monday. President Trump could have hollered at them. They could have consulted them.
I go back in on Monday. You could have hollered at us on Monday. If you truly felt like there was something, like, there is nothing that they will say that will make me believe that this action needed to take place, and it needed to take place without the consultation of the Congress.
This is one of those times where politicians sound like hypocrites, because there have been a bunch of presidents who have ordered strikes without congressional approval. Barack Obama did it against Libya.
Well, guys, in a rare moment of genius, Charlamagne the God here managed to actually use his brain and call out these radical leftists. Like, you got Jasmine dumb behind Ghetto Crockett over here having a meltdown saying that Trump should have hollered at her prior to performing this airstrike, which we know the strike would have never happened if Congress knew anything about it, because they're a bunch of obstructionists. And by the way, this wasn't a declaration of war. This was just a strike, which every president has done. And this is what Charlamagne is clearly pointing out, that you had Clintons, you had Obama, you even had Bush in the past. Multiple presidents have performed all kinds of strikes and operations, and they have the authority to do so via the executive power and the power of the presidency to do this. And Charlamagne is calling out the Democrats for clutching their pearls at this. Let's go ahead and react to this.
This is one of those times where politicians sound like hypocrites, because Mark Kelly is right. Presidents should get congressional approval, but there have been a bunch of presidents.
Congressional approval for war, not necessarily to perform airstrikes, especially if you're trying to do something in secret, which these people couldn't keep anything secret to literally save their lives. And this is something that could save the lives of millions of Americans if these people don't have a nuclear weapon.
Presidents who have ordered strikes without congressional approval. Barack Obama did it against Libya. Joe Biden ordered strikes in Iraq and Syria without congressional approval. Bill Clinton did it to, was it Kosovo? I think you pronounce it. So presidents ordering military action without congressional approval has become pretty routine. So is it always a thing when they do it?
I mean, President Trump is unique. They're obstructionists. Sonny Hostin at one point said she was okay being an obstructionist party, or basically she said something along those lines, basically being a contrarian party, a resistance party, something really stupid that somebody woke as hell would say. And that's exactly what they're doing. It has nothing to do with what's the actual protocol. Presidents have the power to do this. A declaration of war is different, because that could affect so many different things versus just doing a freaking airstrike. Give me a break.
I'm just asking. I don't know.
No. Well, this is where those articles of impeachment come up. And that's why House Democrat Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she actually says that President Trump's decision to strike Iran could lead to impeachment.
So why didn't I'm just saying? So why didn't it lead to impeachment for everybody else? Like when Barack Obama did it, when Biden.
Guys, if you've been following this channel for real, then you see my post where I said, hey, get ready for them to start talking about impeachment, because anytime President Trump does anything, they're talking about impeachment. Oh, President Trump stepped on my shoe. He sneezed wrong. He looked at me really hard, and it just scared me. These people are such losers and crybabies. At a certain point, I understand being a resistance party or wanting to resist certain things that you don't like. But on another hand, when did the Democrat constituents get okay with having a party full of a bunch of freaking crybabies? Because that's all they're doing. Now, all of a sudden, he strikes Iran, a known enemy to the United States that consistently has been funding terrorists for longer than I've been alive. And you got radical left Democrats crying about them having their nuclear facilities attacked. This is just getting ridiculous.
But it has, not that it necessarily, well, the people in Congress or congressional members will call for it. Does it necessarily mean that that they'll move forward with the impeachment process? Not necessarily, but there have been times in the past that these congressional members have called for impeachment of the president because of their military actions or actions that they've taken with the military without having that congressional.
It hasn't been this much backlash.
Yeah, I don't even remember hearing about it during the Joe Biden administration.
But I guess
Like,
I guess that's because the way Trump has been moving, but we haven't heard about it when Obama did it. We didn't hear about it when Biden did it.
I do remember when Obama did it.
It's because the Republicans don't cry as much as the Democrats do. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely some crying from the conservative Republican side, including against Trump right now. But there's way more crying from the radical left Democrats, because that's just what their party is known for. They're the party that's known for having a grown man like Van Jones crying on TV and thinking that is okay or shows strength to cry. No, it just looks pathetic.
Obama did it. I do remember, people in Congress saying he needed congressional approval and they were making it a thing. I don't remember the Biden thing at all. I don't remember that even making a
I was
headline.
gonna say, I don't recall, but people were very upset about the way that he. That went without that. People were very upset about the way that he withdrew from Afghanistan. I mean, that was certainly a thing as well. I mean, they were it was a thing.
Who was upset about that? Last I checked, conservative people, independents, some of them were upset about that, but I didn't hear no Democrats say nothing about, oh my gosh, I can't believe that Joe Biden left Afghanistan, got Americans killed, got Afghanis killed, got people from other countries killed, and left billions of dollars worth of equipment that the Afghani people are just waving around. They're riding around in freaking tanks and helicopters and all kinds of stuff in humiliation rituals, trying to show off how incompetent the United States is. No, I didn't really hear a whole lot of Democrats too upset about it.
Yeah, the only reason I know about Biden, because I read an article on NBC News last night that was literally about this. It was the headline was "President's ordering military action without congressional approval has become routine," and it talked about Biden citing Article number 2 in the Constitution, which makes the president commander in chief, and I guess basically saying he don't need congressional approval. And that's when he ordered the strikes in Iraq and Syria.
Well, yeah, the president is the literal leader of all of the United States military. So yes, when it comes to decisive action and doing whatever the hell he wants, yeah, he's the chief. There's a reason why they call him that. It's not just for show, guys. Regardless of what losers like Ms. Crockett have to say, this is real simple stuff. They love to pretend as though President Trump is doing something new. He's doing something unprecedented. Oh, he's deporting people without due process. Yeah, if you're an illegal alien, you can get deported as long as it's known that you're an illegal alien. You can get deported. Oh, he's doing airstrikes and he didn't get congressional approval. Yeah, so did everybody else. There's nothing that President Trump has done. They're trying to act like everything that he's done is like this unprecedented thing. There's nothing that he's done that's new. Even the tariff thing is not new. Other presidents have done that. How do you think tariffs get in place to begin with? We already had tariffs in place before President Trump put them in place. He just applied more tariffs. Like that's all he did. He applied more tariffs, in some cases some new tariffs to other countries that never had them. But none of the things that he's done are new. Like we think he just pulls new ideas out of nowhere. No, this is all old stuff that has worked in the past. He's leveraging the tools that other presidents have used. He's levying prior experience that he got from being president the first time. So this is something that appears to have worked out. It appears as though there has been a peace agreement. President Trump did announce that there was a peace agreement between Iran and Israel and the United States. You know, no more fighting. They did their little fake behind missiles that didn't do anything, and they were taken out by the missile defense, and they warned the United States ahead of time. So everything worked out. What is there to cry about? Just like, why are we crying about this again? I mean, I've heard people crying about President Trump's airplane costing too much money to fly around. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. They're going to cry about it, and I don't expect them to stop at this point. But do you guys think that this was a good move by President Trump? Do you think this was him playing 4D chess again and winning again like he always seems to do? Or do you think that he's just off his rocker and he's just crazy and breaking all these laws? Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
This notion that CNN ran with at the White House did not give a heads up to Democrats is just completely false. In fact, both Senator Schumer's office and CNN had to retract that story last night because it was a blatant lie. And we showed them the timestamps from those phone calls. But I want to add something to Thomas Massey's false point. The White House was not obligated to call anyone because the president was acting within his legal authority under Article 2 of the Constitution as Commander-in-Chief of the President of the United States. We gave these calls as a courtesy, and the Democrats are lying about this because they can't talk about the truth of the success of that operation and the success of our United States military and the success of this president and this administration in doing something that past administrations, Democrats too, have only dreamed about.